There's a saying that when it rains, it pours, which is to say that when something bad happens, other bad things are going to happen too. I'm not superstitious, but when I was young, I used to believe in Murphy's Law. But as I got older and slightly wiser, maybe about this much wiser, I realized that it was nonsense. People who embrace Murphy's Law as fact, rather than looking at the evidence, cause it to become true. Because instead of looking for solutions, they become trapped within that negative viewpoint. Murphy's Law is a trap. So, what I'm going to tell you now, on top of what I just told you about upcoming challenges for this channel, may sound like when it rains, it pours, but it's not. And I want you to keep that in mind. So I have been given notice that my lease, which has been on a month-to-month since my first one-year lease ran out and the landlord decided he wasn't going to renew, which he does to a lot of people, and that I have to be out by July 31st. Now, I can't show you the whole thing because I don't want to show you my address or anything like that, but there is what it says. And I know you want to see the letterhead and stuff like that, but that's got the address on it too. And so I'm just going to show you the next part of it, which is so when I saw this, I was like, what? I always pay my rent on time. I don't cause trouble, well, except for writing a review that was honest. And I thought, well, it's got to be he wants to get me out so he can renovate this place, the owner, that is, who's kind of a jerk. And then he can jack up the rent a lot. Now, I got a letter from them a few weeks ago saying, we're jacking up everybody's rent, and we're also going to be charging utilities charges for some of the stuff that has been included in the rent. So they're getting around the limit on how much they can jack it up by adding this MUC, or I don't know what the M stands for, but utility charges, because the sewer and the water are included in the rent. I pay my own electricity, phone, internet, but the water and the sewage and also garbage are included in the rent. So either you have to, if you have like a way to have your own account with the company, the utility company, then you do that. Otherwise, you get assigned a certain fee, and they haven't even specified how much it's going to be. It's been very vague. And that was supposed to happen starting in October. But then, now I get this. I thought, well, yep, they're after money because the owner's a greedy jerk. And he doesn't have very much in the way of ethics as far as I'm concerned. Talks politely, unless you make him angry, but yeah, not an ethical person in my mind. Not according to my ethics anyways. So I was told by the apartment manager that I'm one of 6 apartments that are being vacated so they can renovate and get more money. Sorry, my shoulder's bothering me today. And now, they didn't say how often it's going to happen. They suggested quarterly, but it didn't seem to be like a firm thing. So I did tell some of the other tenants that this is going to happen. And I told the landlord, I said, look, if you can, the person who lives in the apartment downstairs from me just died the other day. They just told me this. And so I said, well, if you can get me into another apartment here I'll pay whatever the new rent is. So, but yeah, it's not a good time. Like I told you before, Friday I'm going to have my angiogram, and that could go well, or it could go kind of bad, or it could go balloon stent bad, or it could go as far as open heart surgery. I really don't know what's going to happen. At this point, my guess is they're going to send me home, but I really don't know. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes. But if you don't hear from me for weeks on end, yeah. And then, of course, there's the maybe someday surgery on my left shoulder here that Amazon is legally obliged, and I will take it to court if I have to pay for through workers' comp. But they're trying to wiggle out of that between Amazon and Sedgwick. So, you can say, oh, Glenn, it's, when it rains, it pours. Things come in threes. It's your heart, your shoulder, and your home. No. It's not. It's just a coincidence. Coincidences happen all the time. We just don't usually notice them because they're small things, not big things. But still, this is, yesterday I was feeling very stressed out by this because of, the two medical things, and I don't know what's going to happen with those. And my employer finally got back to me about getting me back to work, and I'm supposed to go back to work on Sunday. Unfortunately, it's at a different facility because KCVG refuses to give me custom shoes, safety shoes. And so they're moving me across the river into Cincinnati to DKY4. But my shift will be like 1:20 in the morning for 10 hours, 4 days a week. So on the bright side, I'm only going to be working 4 days. The downside is I'm going to be working 10-hour shifts. They're going to give me the shoes, and they're going to give me more money than I'm earning right now because the bad news is I also will have to work the whole weekend, Friday to Monday. So I have a really weird shift, and I have a schedule I didn't want to have that's going to interfere with my ability to do my charity work on Fridays, but I think I can make that work out. Not perfectly, but I think as long as I can get home soon enough, and hopefully the local Aldi will finally open up because they've been building, and they're supposed to open up sometime this summer, then that will make it a lot easier. But yeah, so now I have... Okay, let's just assume that the CT angiogram scan goes well. So then I'll go see my primary care physician later on Friday, and I can continue to post. But I still have to find a new place to live, so I'm going to have to focus on that. And because I'm pretty sure that the owner is not going to agree to let me move into a different apartment here. And I don't want it to be on the ground floor because there are problems historically with the ground floors flooding. But worst case scenario, next week I'll have had open heart surgery. And I won't be ready by July 31st to move out. And I don't know if I'll even be, at what point I'll even be ready to pack stuff up. And I've only got my son. So yeah, it's just a lot to take in right now. And I'm just hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. So if my output decreases, and I have been working hard on phase 3 of my water cooler thing with the fan configurations. I have done, let me see, how many have I done so far? Fan configurations, I'm up to 21 fan configurations that I have tested, and I've got many more to do. And so between today and tomorrow, I hope to get some of that done. But now the temperature has risen enough that it's going to affect my results, most likely. So, yeah. I I don't know if I should ask for help or not. I don't know if I need help or not. I've learned to be independent, and so whereas some people at the drop of a hat will be like, I heard this story. Some guy said put a message online saying as a joke saying I need beer money, and supposedly he had a total of over $1 million sent to him from various people for beer, which is just insane. I mean, a totally useless purpose, and people are sending him money. I don't really understand that. To me, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But yeah. So he got $1 million or so, and so according to the story, he donated all but enough for a pack of beer to a charity, which is great, which is fantastic. I mean, it's so much better than if he had said, "Yeah, I'm gonna have parties for years." Instead, he did something nice with that money, which shows what kind of character that person has. When my wife, so I'm gonna have to say I should ask for help because I just don't know what's going to happen. When my wife was diagnosed with cancer, we had people calling up and saying, "We'd like to send you some money. We'd like to raise money or whatever." And we turned them down because we felt like, oh, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. Not understanding, now this was in Indonesia, not understanding the state of the quality and the level of medical care for cancer patients in Indonesia. And that lack of understanding contributed, but was not the only reason why my wife died. So I think that I should learn my lesson from that experience. We had the opportunity to get significant help, and we turned it down. And had we understood that our business would collapse because we would frequently be in and out of the hospital, had we understood the neglect and malignant behavior of doctors and nurses, had we understood the poor quality of the cancer care in Indonesia at the time, had we understood the financial burden to be able to actually get good care, and that it would be likely, had the doctors at the first hospital that she went to for treatment been more assertive in telling us you need to come in for another treatment instead of saying, well, I'm okay, you don't have to. After they had initially told us we were done, she might still be alive and be doing well right now. But that's not the way things worked out. So I think that instead of being stubborn and independent and prideful or whatever it is, that I should say, maybe I need help. I don't know what form the help should take. I don't know what to ask for. I did call legal aid, and they said, well, you're on a month-to-month, and they've given you 50 days notice, which is more than the minimum that's required. There's nothing that you can really do. You could wait until they give you an eviction notice, and then it goes to court, and you could call us and see if we can get you a lawyer to help you. But really, they're in Ohio. The laws are not very supportive of tenants in Ohio. The landlord has a lot more power. Like, had I had a choice, I would not have agreed to go to month to month. I would have insisted, no, I want another 1 year lease or 2 year lease. But I didn't have a choice. So, in Ohio at least, I mean, I would like to live somewhere where it's not an at-will state, where tenants have rights that protect them from this kind of behavior, where somebody can just get you out just because they want to renovate an apartment and charge more. I mean, they're gentrifying the area that I live in. Why? I don't know. The school system sucks here. But a lot of the apartment buildings in this area, the price has gotten stupidly high. And this is above the normal stupid level. Currently, we don't have anything other than parking. And there is a roundabout in the parking lot in the front of our buildings. And in that roundabout, there's grass and there's a single tree growing and there's a picnic table. There used to be a grill, but they got rid of the grill. And I think that was because people were being stupid and they would take the grill and they would move it over by their apartment and they would use it, which was forbidden. And people had been warned. So I think they just got rid of it. That's all we've got. Now, a few buildings down the road, there's another place. They've got a swimming pool. They've got a community center. They've got tennis court and basketball court. And they're charging less than this jerk is charging for the apartments here. Now, the apartments here are a bit bigger, probably 200 square feet bigger. But still, there are no extra amenities except for parking and the included water, sewage, garbage. So, I don't know. Again, hopefully Friday will go fine, and I'll be back here in no time. Or at the very worst, it's a balloon stent that gets put in. But I don't know, and I don't know when my shoulder is going to get fixed. So I guess I'm asking for help. I just don't know what to ask for. Could be going back to work on Sunday, but if things don't go right on Friday, then I won't be going back to work. And that means more time without pay, because right now I'm not being paid. Thanks for watching and hope you have a great day.